He came to read her journals, but now her ghost won't let him leave Blackthorn Hall alive. The widow of Blackthorn Hall. The arrival. Evening, 1894. The fog rolls thick over the moors. A horse-drawn carriage creaks up a winding road. The driver's lantern barely cuts through the mist. Inside the carriage sits Elias Ward, a 29-year-old historian with sharp eyes and weary curiosity. He clutches a leather satchel and a letter sealed with wax. The invitation to stay at Blackthorn Hall to study the private journals of Lady Evelyn Blackthorn. The mansion appears like a ghost out of the fog, vast, silent, and overgrown with ivy. Its windows are dark, save for a single flickering light near the upper floor. The carriage halts. The driver won't look at the house. Driver nervously, avoiding eye contact. "You'll be staying here alone, sir? Best to leave before dark sets in proper." "Elias, I'll be fine. I'm here on official study. The caretaker is expecting me." The driver tips his hat, mutters a prayer under his breath, and drives off. The sound of hooves fades, leaving Elias in near silence. He approaches the heavy oak door and knocks. After a long pause, it opens slightly, revealing Emmers Havers, an old woman wrapped in shawls, eyes pale and cautious. "Mrs. Havers, you're the scholar then. I thought you might have turned back." Elias, smiling politely. "I don't scare easily, Mrs. Havers." Mrs. Havers, softly, almost to herself. "No one ever does. Not at first." She opens the door wider. Candlelight flickers across a grand but decaying entry hall, portraits lining the walls, their painted eyes following every move. A grandfather clock ticks unevenly, echoing through the emptiness. Elias looking around. It's remarkable. Centuries of history here. Mrs. Havers. And some of it still breathes when it shouldn't. Elias frowns, unsure if she's joking. He sets down his satchel and walks toward a large portrait above the staircase. A woman in a black gown, her expression mournful, her eyes unervingly alive. "Elias, Lady Evelyn Blackthorn, I presume?" Mrs. Havers, the lady herself, died waiting for a love that never returned. Folks say she still walks the halls, searching for him. Elias, quietly, a haunting love story. Mrs. Havers, whispering, a curse more like. A cold draft passes through the corridor. The candles flicker. Somewhere upstairs, a faint weeping sound echoes through the walls. Elias, startled. "Did you hear that?" Emmers Havers, stiffly. "Best not to listen too closely. The house doesn't like being remembered." She turns away, leaving him alone in the vast silence of Blackthorn Hall. Elias glances up the staircase once more. The portrait's painted eyes seem to shimmer with moisture, like tears frozen mid-fall. Outside, the fog presses tight against the windows. Inside, the house exhales, long and low, as if it had been waiting for him. The journal. Study room, night. Rain lashes against the tall windows. Candles flicker weakly, their light swallowed by the endless dark corners of the hall. Elias Ward sits at an antique desk in the study. A grand room filled with dusty books, cobwebs, and the scent of forgotten years. In front of him lies a locked wooden chest, its brass hinges dull with age. A tag tied to the handle reads, "Property of Lady Evelyn Blackthorn, 1842. Elias runs his fingers over the carved initials. E.B. The lock is old and fragile. One twist of his small knife and it snaps open. Inside are 3 leather-bound journals, edges frayed and pages yellowed. He opens the first. Lady Evelyn's handwriting is elegant, slanted, and emotional, as if every letter were written with trembling devotion. Elias, reading softly, "He is gone, my heart with him. If death dares take him, I shall bind his soul to mine, no matter what it costs." He pauses, a shiver crawling down his spine. Elias, murmuring, "Bind his soul. What did you mean by that, Lady Evelyn?" He keeps reading. Each page grows darker, the tone shifting from grief to obsession. Evelyn speaks of a ritual, of candles and crimson roses, of a mirror that does not lie. Suddenly, a thud echoes from the ceiling above. Elias freezes. The sound is heavy, deliberate, like footsteps pacing slowly across the upper hall. He looks up toward the ceiling, listening. Elias, Mrs. Havers? No reply, only the steady creak of movement closer now, directly above his head. He stands, candle in hand, and glances toward the corridor. Shadows dance across the walls, stretching long and sharp. Then, a soft weeping seeps through the wall beside him. Faint, broken, like someone crying behind the plaster. Elias presses his ear against the cold wall. The weeping stops instantly. The silence that follows feels aware. He steps back, uneasy, his heartbeat loud in the stillness. The candle flickers once, twice, then steadies. Elias exhales, forces a nervous smile. Elias to himself. Just the wind. Old houses remember sounds. That's all. He returns to the desk and turns a page. But the writing has changed. The words now appear freshly written, the ink still glistening. His candlelight catches the final line. You should not read what was never meant for the living. The flame sputters out, plunging the study into complete darkness. A single whisper breathes through the room, cold and near his ear. Welcome, Elias. The first encounter. Grand staircase, late night. The mansion groans with every gust of wind. Elias moves cautiously through the dim corridor, candle trembling in his hand. The house feels awake, listening. From above, faint footsteps echo. Slow, graceful, deliberate. He climbs the grand staircase, each step creaking beneath his weight. At the landing, the air grows thick, cold enough to sting his breath. The portraits along the wall seem to lean toward him, their painted eyes glinting in candlelight. He stops halfway, the weeping again, this time closer, softer, real. Elias whispers, "Who's there?" No answer. Then a rustle of fabric. From the upper hallway, a woman in a black gown steps into view. Her face is hidden behind a dark lace veil, her hands clasped before her chest. The air carries the scent of old roses and decay. Elias's hand tightens on the candle. Elias, I didn't mean to disturb you. She doesn't move. Her voice, when it comes, is calm and heartbreakingly sad. Woman, softly, why do you read my sorrow, Mr. Ward? Elias freezes. He hadn't told anyone his name. Elias, hesitant. Who are you? Woman, promise unfulfilled. A love unfinished. Lightning flashes through the tall window. For a brief second, her veil lifts slightly. Her face is pale, hollow, eyes filled with endless grief. Elias stumbles back in shock. The candle drops. Its flame dies on the floor. When the darkness settles, she's gone. Only the faint smell of roses lingers, and a single withered petal rests where she stood. He kneels, trembling, staring at it. It crumbles into ash the moment he touches it. The silence afterward is suffocating, broken only by the whisper of her voice fading into the walls. You opened what was sealed, now we are bound. Elias runs his hand through his hair, breath quickening. Elias, to himself, I'm losing my mind. It's just exhaustion. But deep down, something inside him knows. The house has chosen him. The pact. Library, next morning. Gray light filters through cracked windows. Elias hasn't slept. His journal lies open beside Lady Evelyn's, pages filled with notes, questions, and fear. He flips through the second journal. The entries are darker now, ink smudged with tears, words desperate and wild. The priest refused me. He said the dead must rest. But what does he know of love? I will call him back, even if heaven turns its face. Elias traces the words with shaking fingers. The date of the final entry matches the day Evelyn died. A shadow passes across the page. He looks up. The air above the desk ripples like heat. Voice whispering, "Love me. Free him." Elias jerks back, his chair scraping the floor. The journals slam shut on their own. The house groans. Somewhere, a door creaks open slowly, then slams shut with a thunderous echo. He runs to the mirror near the fireplace. His reflection wavers, flickers, and for a heartbeat, another face looks back. A man's face, pale, hollow-eyed, dressed in old-fashioned attire. Elias, terrified. "Who are you?" The reflection's lips move silently. Then it's gone. Elias stares at his own reflection again, sweat dripping down his forehead. He turns back to the desk and notices new words scorched into the leather of Evelyn's journal cover. "Only through another can the bond remain." The whisper returns, now tender, loving, and wrong. "You have his heart, Elias. You write as he did. You feel as he felt." The curtains flutter though the air is still. The fire in the hearth burns higher, turning blue. Elias grabs the journal and stumbles backward, voice trembling. "Elias, no, this isn't real. It's the wind, the isolation." From the corner of the room, her faint silhouette appears again, blurred, shifting between shadow and flesh. Lady Evelyn whispering, "Stay, and he will be free. Leave, and you will take his place." The room goes cold. The fire dies. Elias stands frozen, the journal clutched to his chest, realizing he's already part of the ritual, the possession. Grand Hall, night. Thunder rolls across the moors. The storm outside howls like a beast, shaking the windows and tearing at the ivy-covered walls. Candles flicker wildly, casting frantic shadows across the hall's decaying grandeur. Elias Ward stands at the center of the Grand Hall, drenched in sweat, clutching Lady Evelyn's journal to his chest. He's exhausted, eyes red, breath ragged, but he can't stop reading. Each page seems to write itself, words forming in black ink as if guided by an invisible hand. "The heart of the living shall keep the dead from fading, and in his love I shall rise again." Elias yelling, "Stop it! Stop writing!" The ink bleeds through the pages. His hands tremble. Lightning flashes. The portraits on the walls seem to shift, faces turning toward him. From above, the chandelier sways violently. A woman's voice fills the hall, echoing through every corner. Lady Evelyn, disembodied. "You called to me, Elias. You read what was bound. Now the bond must be sealed." "Elias, I didn't mean to. I just wanted to understand you." "Lady Evelyn, then understand this. Love never dies." The grand doors slam shut behind him. The storm outside fades, replaced by a heavy, suffocating silence. Elias looks up. The portrait of Lady Evelyn that once hung above the fireplace is now blank, just cracked canvas. Slowly, wet handprints begin appearing across it. From the inside, as if someone were pressing to get out. He stumbles backward, horrified. Elias shouting, "What do you want from me?" The air trembles. Shadows ripple across the floor like living ink. From those shadows, Evelyn's ghost steps forth. Pale, elegant, her black gown flowing as if underwater. Her face is sorrowful, but her eyes burn with desperate love. "Lady Evelyn," softly, "you have his heart, Elias. His soul was bound to mine, but your spirit completes it." She reaches out. Her fingers brush his cheek, cold as marble. Elias's body jerks violently. Elias struggling. "No, I won't. Lady Evelyn, don't fight it. You were chosen the moment you read my pain." The journal bursts into flame in his hands. He screams and drops it, but the fire spreads across the floor in a perfect circle around them. Inside the ring of fire, everything slows. Evelyn steps closer, her form flickering between life and death. Lady Evelyn whispering, "Stay with me, and he will finally rest." Elias, desperate. "And what happens to me?" Her smile is tragic, almost tender. "Lady Evelyn, you will become the keeper." Lightning crashes. Elias's body stiffens, his eyes turn glassy. The flames rise high, then vanish in an instant. The hall falls silent again. The only sound, faint weeping from above, and the echo of her whisper, "Till death binds us once more." A gust of wind blows open the doors. When the caretaker returns hours later, the hall is empty. Only the burned journal remains, opened to a final line written in elegant handwriting. He stayed. The new keeper. Morning. A pale dawn creeps across the moors. The storm has passed, leaving the ground soaked and silent. Mist curls around the mansion's broken gates like restless spirits. The air is heavy, the kind that feels like memory itself. A carriage arrives, its wheels crunching over wet gravel. Out steps Mr. Grayson, a middle-aged historian with spectacles and a curious mind. He carries a letter, the same invitation Elias once received. Mr. Grayson, to himself. Blackthorn Hall. God, it's larger than I imagined. He walks to the massive oak door and knocks. After a moment, it creaks open, revealing Emerus Havers, the old caretaker. Her face is even paler than before, her eyes distant, as though she hasn't slept in days. Mrs. Havers, you must be the new scholar. Mr. Grayson. Yes, Elias Ward was supposed to meet me here. I was told he's been researching Lady Evelyn's journals? A pause. The wind sighs through the doorway. Emerus Havers, softly. Mr. Ward left some time ago. He didn't say where he was going. Mr. Grayson, smiling faintly. I see. Well, I'll only need the study. If the journals are still available, I'd like to begin right away. Mrs. Havers, they're waiting for you, sir. Upstairs. The lady always welcomes new readers. Her tone sends a chill down his spine, but he laughs politely and steps inside. Grand hall, continuous. The mansion looks older now. Dust floats through thin light, the air thick with cold and the faint scent of wilted roses. The portraits hang where they always have, except one. Mr. Grayson stops in his tracks. Above the fireplace, two new portraits hang side by side. One of Lady Evelyn Blackthorn, radiant in her black gown, and beside her Elias Ward, dressed in 19th century attire, his expression solemn but gentle, his eyes hauntingly alive. Mr. Grayson, whispering, "That's impossible." He steps closer. The painted eyes seem to glimmer, not from light, but from within. Behind him, faint footsteps echo from the staircase. He turns quickly, no one's there. Then, the soft sound of weeping begins. Comes from inside the walls, two voices this time. One male, one female. Their cries overlap like a sad duet, echoing through every corridor. Mr. Grayson, uneasy. Mrs. Havers? No answer. Only the creak of the floorboards above. He glances back at the portraits and swears he sees Elias's painted lips curl into a faint smile. Upstairs study moments later. On the desk rests a single open journal, Evelyn's. The ink is fresh. New words are scrawled across the page, as if written moments ago. The house has found another heart. A cold breeze moves through the room, blowing out the candles. The door slams shut behind Mr. Grayson. Down the hall, two shadows drift past the window. A man and a woman, hand in hand, fading slowly into the mist. And from the walls below, the whispers return. Soft, loving, eternal. Till death binds us once more.